Hello guys, welcome to Aphantasia Studios. This will be my first official art related video. So that's exciting. So I wanted to start off, it seemed fitting, with a sketchbook tour. Unfortunately, a lot of the sketchbooks with some of my favorite pieces, they have slipped into the void. But I will show some of these that I do have in person, and I will put the ones that I could not find just up on the screen. And I'll just kind of run you through a couple of these. Was trying out a new style, had some markers that were gifted to me. This one's fun. Usually what I'll do is I will draw an undersketch and draw with ink over and erase my undersketch, which is interesting. I do have process pictures of a lot of these, if that would ever interest you guys. Here's a recent one that I'm quite fond of. This must be leakage from my other drawing. That's fine. I really like this one. I like to almost collect patterns, and every time I see a little bit of negative space, I'll either create a new pattern or use ones that I really like to use. Spines, vertebrae, ribs are one of my favorite things. As you can tell, I've really been experimenting with the markers. I'm not a color theory fanatic. It doesn't make sense to me. So a lot of these are a little iffy. This one is a self-portrait. I did have a reference for this because you guys will know, if you have aphantasia, trying to come up with something is really hard. So sometimes if you can't get anything flowing, just grab a reference and hope for the best. This is a work in progress. Don't know where I'm taking it. I thought it was cool though. It's a little dragon. The mouth is also the rib cage. So the sternum is on the top of the mouth. The back, the vertebrae, is the bottom of the jaw. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this one. I have a lot of unfinished ones. I like this sketchbook. I only have a couple in here, but they're all bangers. So this one, also with reference. Hugh Laurie, Dr. House. I love this guy. This one turned out great. I love experimenting with charcoal. It was my first medium that I really fell in love with before I moved on to pen. Yeah, not much else to say about that one, but pretty happy with it. This one, I still need to finish it, but it is a concept that I drew in one of my old sketchbooks, and I decided it was that good that I wanted to reimagine it. I take a lot of inspiration from artists like H.R. Giger. The game Scorn, if you're familiar, is oh, I love that game. It has so many fun textures and shapes. I love it, and I try and emulate that a lot in my art style. Moving on, this is my high school sketchbook, and there's a lot in here that aren't worth showing. Speak of the devil, I have found the one that I based that one I just showed you off of. This was all I had to go off of, but I'm like, this is so fun. I gotta make it bigger, grander, and I did, but didn't finish it, unfortunately. This one's not necessarily the best, but I wanted to point it out because there was a point where I did actually practice my drawing faces, anatomy. I'm good enough at guessing it now to where I stopped practicing, which I probably should go back to practicing it, but I just thought that would be fun to point out. Hands. Everyone loves drawing hands. That's a joke. Where was I going with that? Yeah, lots of hands. I like this guy. He's very cool and creepy. Cute kitty pit stop. Moving on. You guys might not find this as interesting as me, but this specific shape right here that I drew, I don't know, this mask looking thing, love it. And also this half semi-sphere. I don't know, at the time I was like, yes, I drew that. This one's really fun. I do want to mention this one because it's not finished, it's nothing crazy. However, if you can see these little squiggles, This is when I started experimenting with finding inspiration from the page, because it doesn't really help to look at a blank page. So oftentimes what I'll do is I will scribble and I'll look really hard for the recording cut. But yeah, I will draw down some scribbles and I will look for these big shapes. Just the flowy lines, fun angles, they can really get you jump started in finding what you want to bring out of those scribbles. I like to not use reference a lot, so it's good practice to draw people anatomy, not just my weird abstract designs. So this is a good way of finding dynamic poses without looking on Pinterest and whatnot. This one is solely scribbles. I see a lot of ideas here. This could be, yeah, I'll point it out. This could be an eye. This looks like a nasal cavity of sorts, maybe a beak here. If I were to create a drawing out of this, I'm already getting ideas. And it's been a while since I've looked at this one, but I can already see so many possibilities for this. Fun shapes you can turn into solid forms. Really helpful in the creative process. I don't know what they were putting in the school cafeteria milk at my high school, but my shading was fantastic. I don't know what happened to it. I think I switched to cross hatching, and because I wasn't that good at it at the time, I may have lost some of my shading abilities. Also, it's been a while. I'm trying to get back into drawing. That's another reason I'm doing this channel. But yeah, this one is very fun. I really love this one. I think it's important very much to learn form, understanding how to build form, subtract, add, create intersections between shapes, especially if you have aphantasia. Knowing how to turn what you see onto the page into a three-dimensional, believable object form is fantastic, and it's a great tool to learn early on. Your lines, they can come afterwards, your line work, your shading, but understanding form is such a vital aspect of creating things. This page is fun. It's a mix of drawing things around me, which is good because if you have aphantasia, you can't imagine a form, move it around in your head. However, you can take something that's actually in your room, flip it around. This cat, I could not flip him around, and at the time he would not sit still, so I had to get the rough shapes down. Again, form is very important, getting the rough shapes, and then from there I could finish the pose that he was in. I'm not even a dragon nerd, but some reason dragons are just what I gravitate towards. This one's fun. A very robotic dragon. This one is also fun. Again, one of my favorite patterns is these muscle fibers. They're just so fun. And it's great practice for tightening your line work. I can already smell the comments on this one. Yes, I used to be a huge fan of Five Nights at Freddy's. Animatronics are so fun. And with my biomechanical style, it's good to take inspiration from a lot of things, combine them. Machines and exoskeletons, animatronics was a very good gateway into that. Kind of forgot about this one. I drew this one on the plane. I was headed to Hawaii and got bored, pulled out my sketchbook. This one is so fun. A very interesting take on the xenomorph. Tubes are so fun. You can just wrap tubes around each other. I don't know what I'm talking about. Moving on. This one was born from a very simple shape, almost a figure 8. You can tell there's not a lot of underlying sketch here because I pretty much saw what I wanted to make this immediately. Unfinished, but still nonetheless very cool. Not much to say about this one. I would love to go back and redraw some of these. This one is actually really cool. Some perspective practice, a fun little sea dinosaur, and some fun shapes. This drawing was my profile picture for a while. I don't know why. The mouse snake and whatever that is, he's so cute. He's probably the cutest thing I've ever drawn, besides the cat, but he's more special. Honestly, it's really nice to just get expressive with your lines, be a little loose for a very interesting texture. And this one was done all in pen, so I didn't really have pencil under it. More intentional lines. I was a little more careful, but sometimes the idea just immediately hits and you don't have to search very long. Ruby to Cherry. Next. I guess I could call this one an honorable mention. Okay, now we're getting into the territory where I locked the frick in. Or so I think. I'd like to think. My line work got really good, and my designs got really interesting, really expressive. I like this guy. I don't know what he is, but he's very fun. For some reason, the only thing I could think of when I made this one was that guy from Lilo and Stitch, the shark-looking fella. I'm gonna kind of go rapid fire here. I got a lot to get through. Yes. So Steampunk Bird was originally an idea. I asked my brother, I'm like, hey, give me something fun to draw. And he's like, draw a bird that's like kind of steampunky. I'm like, all right, I got you. This is not the one I drew. The other one is terrible, but it like popped up into my head and I'm like, yeah, let me redraw that. And this one is very fun. Much better than my original design. No one come for me on how accurate my anatomy is here, but at the time, I was really happy with this one. It just, something about it. I guess I'll call this one another honorable mention. There's a little bend here, that's a little sad. Anyways, this one right here, one of my favorite designs. And I do actually, I know I say, oh, I might want to go back to that one. I gotta go back to this one. I mean, look at it. Look at how cool he is. And it's actually very reminiscent of that one I started the video off of, with the rib cage being part of the jaw. This one, it kind of is a creature. It folds in half. Its tail is its bottom jaw. Very fun design. This one is very alien-like. I really like the layers here. Sorry guys, I'm getting really tired here. My verbal skills are slowly falling downhill. This one is just a scribble base, but might also have to come back to this one because lots of potential here. Definitely a neck. Whatever this is right here, totally a neck, totally a head. I think, it's coming back to me what I wanted to do with this one. So I might do that. Maybe a future video I'll come back and I will finish a lot of these scribble bases for you guys. Kind of show you my process a little bit. Okay, so now in this portion of the video, I'm gonna be showing you guys the ones that I couldn't find the sketchbooks for. But we're just gonna kind of go rapid fire here. I don't know which ones I'm gonna put on the screen, but I'll just throw them out there. And I'm really sad that I don't have the sketchbooks because there's a lot of details I'd like to point out and, you know, do my excessive hand gestures like, oh, look at this. But yeah, here are a couple of those. This one's nice. Don't know which one's up here yet. This one is awesome. Love this one. I'm so proud of this one. This one, pretty neat. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put the butterfly one here. Tell me not. Such a cool design. Let me start that over. You'll cut that part out. I drew this one when I had a lot of motivation to draw. Sorry guys, bear with me, I'm tired. I'm just gonna keep doing this gesture until I run out of drawings to put. Yeah, thank you guys for checking out my sketchbook tour, checking out the channel. I really appreciate the support. If you like this content and if you would like to see more like it, and in the future I will be doing draw with me, draw alongs, time lapses, art tutorials, perspective lessons, whatever I'm feeling. But if you like that and you would like to see more, consider subscribing to Aphantasia Studios. I'm Aphant. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, night, morning, whatever the case, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!